Hello everyone, happy days, happy days. Hope you guys are all doing wonderful. I'm back with another meta update. Last meta update we talked about cloaks, void touch weapon, and a lot of other things. Today, a lot of people have been asking me about the boots legendary. Boots has been on the come up. A lot of people have been talking about it. A lot of people have been running this legendary over the cloak legendary, and I wanted to talk about it today. A lot of people have been asking me for rotation differences, why you would run boots over cloak, and a lot of other things. And I just wanted to also talk about a little bit after that my the future of what I'm doing in Fellowship and a lot of other stuff. Okay. So a lot of people have been saying like Rippy, Ventura, Molmar, and a lot of other high-ranked people running boots over Cloak Legendary. Um, why is this? Um, it is because of single target. The higher and higher and higher into Eternals you go, for example, haven't really gone that high. I haven't really gained much IO. Right? But the higher and higher you go into ratings, the more and more single target is important. When you are running the Cloak Legendary is mainly an AoE type legendary. It doesn't really add much into your single target. If we just look over here and we look at the Cloak Legendary, it makes your cold snap hit harder, and it does AoE. But that's about it. While the boots, on the other hand, just make your bursting ice last 2 seconds longer. Why is this good? It essentially allows it to do damage for another 2 seconds, which is good. It also generates anima for those extra 2 seconds, so it gives you more anima generation. And on top of all of that, it also affects how long your Winter's Embrace window is up for. So while Bursting Ice is active, you get Winter's Embrace, which is your 20% damage increase. So with boots, your Bursting Ice is now on a target for 5 seconds, and during this entire time, you are gaining 20% damage increase. That is why this is good in single target. That allows you to go a torrent. If I had enough points, that allows you to basically go bursting ice and 2 glacials at least with greater glacial blast. I didn't have it in here, but here I can go greater glacial blast, and essentially your rotation in a single target mostly revolves around getting as many glacial blasts inside of your bursting ice window as you possibly can, right? Because you can actually fit multiple. Here, if we go bursting ice, this is greater glacial blast. Remember, 1 and 2. I can get 2 entire glacial blasts inside of my bursting ice window. That is very, very strong for single target. If we are also talking about the beam build, which is what's this? If we're talking about beam build, it is also very, very strong. Let me just farm up a little bit of one arms for you guys. It's also good because it allows you to essentially just get your entire freezing door. If we're talking about like single target, we can go into a bursting ice into a full beam, and I still have time to do a glacial blast and a cold snap inside the second part of my bursting ice. That is why this is good. Boots can be played in basically any build. For example, here's the beam build, right? Here we can, cast a torrent into a bursting ice. Instead of 2 comets, you can actually do 3. You can actually do 4. You can do like probably 5. If you get enough procs, you can fit a ton of things. The one thing that changes, obviously, without the Cloak Legendary is you don't care about getting a Cold Snap in because your Cold Snap doesn't do anything. Your Cold Snap is an AoE, it's a pure single target button. So it goes back to getting as many spenders, aka your Glacial Blast and your Comets as you possibly can, right? So I'm just kind of casting as many things as I can in AoE. Just kind of pressing it. And good, boom. And then, next thing, I'm going to do it all over again. Torrent into Bursting Ice, into just as many spenders as I can fit in. Here I can't really fit in anything else. Oh, just kidding. I got another Comet in. Right, that is the power of this legendary. The legendary increases your burst windows longer. It increases your single target more because it allows you to, do this type of things where you go bursting ice into a torrent, full channel a torrent, and then I can still have time to press a glacial blast and a cold snap if I wanted to. It just gives you more time to fit things inside of your window. It also gives you more anima to send more spenders, etc., etc., etc. They are an overall good legendary. I've said this from the start that boots are fine over cloak. You can do that. It's totally fine. I've been saying that this entire time. I'm also going to put this out here right now. Boots are not significantly ahead of cloak. Full stop. That's just not true. I personally was playing some farm keys. Obviously, farm keys are different than prog, right? Playing some farm keys where I was playing boots, the other guy was playing cloak. Some pulls he would decimate me, and some dungeons he would just destroy me on overall. And in some dungeons, I destroyed him. It is all variable. There's a lot of things. You will still get success with cloak. You'll still get success with boots. It does not truly matter which one you play as long as you play it well as a piloting sense, right? As long as you play RIME, the character, well enough, you'll be fine, and it doesn't matter which legendary you are using. A lot of people have always asked me about rotation differences. Right now, we're going to be talking about rotation. So, with rotation with boots, again, you're just fitting as many spenders inside of your bursting ice as possible. In AoE, you're going torrent into bursting ice into as many spenders as you can, and you don't care about getting a cold snap. Obviously, you fill with cold snaps, right? But you just want to be getting as many spenders as you can. Again, it's the same thing I've said in all my other guides. It's torrent into bursting ice into just as many comments as I can get. Boom, I can even get one more in there. And then again, I'm gonna build. Okay, I have another set. Let's go. SFT, great. Into bursting ice, into as many comments as I can fit in. Boom, wonderful. And you just do that over. That is your entire rotation in AoE. And that doesn't really change if you have weapons, if you have buffs or anything. A lot of people also ask me to talk about it with buffs. Okay? This is running with, yes, no GGB. This is the normal 13-point talent build, all AoE one that we talk about with Tundra Guard. Here is it with all my cooldowns.
Witness my wrath.
I need to press weapon, but then I just send bursting ice. I'm just pressing as many as I can fit in. And then I'm kind of spinning down here because I'm going to get a lot of anima in this. Torrent, bursting ice, into send. Alright, there you go. That is that rotation. In single target, it doesn't truly change much either. The only thing difference is bursting ice into torrent, and then you're just filling with as many glacial blasts as you possibly can. You just want to get as many spenders as you possibly can. I keep saying this over and over and over again. But let me show you guys the single target real quick once all my cooldowns are back up. Again, this one, basically all it's going to be bursting ice into torrent into spending as many glacial blasts as I can. Okay? So going into a boss fight, I wouldn't have this many stacks probably. Going into a boss fight, probably open with something like this. Remember, always weapon last if you're using Voidbringers. Bursting ice into torrent into me spending all of my glacial blasts. Invigorating gameplay. You can even send this one alone if you wanted to, but I like keeping them synced up personally. Into another freezing torrent. Into another glacial. And I'm still, and then you just fill with glacials. There you go. Now I'm going to talk about non-beam build from here on point. Everything else is kind of the same. Remember, you can use boots, you can use cloak and beam. It doesn't truly matter. You will be totally fine. We're going to talk about the alternate stuff. So, I've been talking about a lot with you guys about the beam build. I will show you guys that. Is this wonderful guide by Tunic over at fellowsguide.com. If you just look at RIME, you'll come to this guide. There's a 10-point to 13-point alteration with the build that you can use all the way up to 13 points. I know I do not have a all through leagues guide for you guys. I apologize. That is sort of in the works right now. I just need more information on what's best for you guys going up and up and up. But until then, I apologize, but we do have a 10-point up to 13-point. Okay? You can even do this at 9 points by just dropping a greater glacial blast. This could actually be a 9-point. Just drop this, and this is probably the earliest I would ever recommend doing this, 9 points. So this has been the normal build that we've been talking about. basically this, or without running cascading, whichever you prefer. But next we are going to talk about the alternative AoE that was sort of popularized by Molmar and Hopeful recently. It is this Chilling Finesse and Wisdom of the North. This is also a big one that everyone was asking me for a guide on. Yes, this does change your rotation slightly, but not a lot to matter. Going back into the game, let's just equip these talents real quickly. It is all of these. So a lot of you, I've said before, I don't personally like Wisdoms of the North, and that's fine. It is slightly grown on me, especially with this type of build, and essentially, this build is you spam everything on cooldown as much as humanly possible. You do not care about lining anything up. You just keep sending on cooldown permanently over and over and over. Playing Chilling Finesse, you also want to make sure that you are casting Bursting Ice into Torrent, because Torrent reduces the cooldown of your Bursting Ice. This is also a build I would recommend only playing with boots. Cloak, we don't get much value because we're not running Supreme Torrent, so we don't get the ticks to amplify our cool snap. You can actually take this by just dropping Wisdoms and taking Supreme Torrent. This is also a fine thing that you can do if you only want to run Cloak. But this is the build that's been popularized. Essentially, it's the exact same thing. Going into a pool, you're just going to press all your buttons. You're going to press Bursting Ice into Torrent, spin down, and then you're just pressing things on cooldown. You have a very, very high uptime on Bursting Ice, as you can see, and you just press your stuff on cooldown. That is all this is. This build is also exceeds with very high levels of haste, because this is essentially how much uptime can we get out of your ice splits. I've gone 3 minutes straight with just same ice splits, like 3 minutes straight. That's me rotating my ult in, just kind of slamming buttons and stuff on permanent cooldown, and I've been totally fine. This works fine. This is a fun build. I would recommend you guys at least try it out. Like, see, I already have my next cooldowns up. Hasn't even been that much time. And then I'm gonna go and like, you guys can see I'm just pressing all of my cooldowns on permanent cooldown. I don't care. Obviously, fitting in the weapon where we can. I'm just pressing on cooldown. It doesn't matter to me. Just kind of press it on cooldown, and it'll all work out. That's what this build is. Permanently on cooldown, and you just keep blasting over and over and over and over again. Right? Let's see if I can actually keep ice splits all the way up for my duration of this. But this is the build I want to show you. The rotation doesn't change too much, but it slightly changes, as you can tell. I'm not prioritizing Torrent into Bursting Ice. It's just kind of more of a fluid type thing where I'm just kind of pressing everything as it comes up. I don't care. I don't think. I just press buttons on repeat. There, I missed it by about 3 seconds, but I had basically near 98% uptime on my ice splits. That is the power of this build. You need to keep ice splits up. Ice splits is a very, very strong cooldown. If you can keep it up, you need to be keeping it up, right? This is another thing. You don't, with ice splits being super, super high amount of like duration and like just staying up for very, very, very high extended amount of times. I think in a dungeon I peaked at like 97% uptime over an entire Silken. It was a Silken Hollow, and I kept it up for literally like 97% of the dungeon. It was absurd. It was insane. But with this, you don't really care about when you press Voidbringers. Previously, when you aren't running Wisdoms, if you aren't running Inspired Allegiance, it's always going to be a 1 minute cooldown, right? So you always wanted it to at least line up with your damage cooldown. That doesn't really matter because your damage cooldown is now going to be up all the time now. So you just spend your Voidbringers on cooldown permanently over and over and over in this build, okay? Same thing with your ult. You kind of just press your ult on cooldown. You don't get, the only thing that you get really from Wrath of Winter is 20% more damage, and it generates Winter Orbs, which does go into Cascading Blitz, which increases the duration of your Ice Splits. This does, when you have Wrath of Winter, it helps you keep up Ice Splits, so you can kind of just press this in the middle of your Ice Splits and still have the damage ups. It's very good. It's a very fun build. I would highly recommend you guys go and try this out. The boots with these talents is very, very fun. Big shout out to, I think it was Molmar, and listen, I gave him crap. I said he had a potential. Shout out to Hopeful for actually, coming up and popularizing this with a lot of the other like high key pushing individuals. Very, very fun. There's a couple slight variations that you guys can make. You can move Wisdom North to Supreme Torrent. This is a fine thing that you can do. You can Burst Bolter over to Navir's Keeper. I actually don't know how to play with this. I tried this a couple of times. I personally haven't played it enough to figure out how to play with it, but this is something you can do. I don't know if they dropped Wisdoms or if they dropped Burst Bolter, but one of the 1 point talents, I would say never drop Biting Cold, but one of those talents has changed. And overall, give it a try. See if you like it. If you have the obviously if you have the boots to be able to try it, go ahead, give it a try,
Shield me.
and you'll be. I hope you guys have fun with this build. This is genuinely a good, very very fun build. Um, and I would highly recommend at least you guys just try it out, see if you like it. Remember, the damage differences from these is not that crazy. You're not like one build is not going to be significantly better than the other that's blowing it out of the water. No, these are all very competitive. I was actually speaking to Ventura, who was rank 1 world at the time when I was speaking to him. He might still be rank 1 world. Um, in one of the keys, in like one of their like 40, like 849 Stormwatches, he was playing the beam build because it was easier for him to do it, and he wasn't even like I think he might have like he was either on par or like he was on par, slightly behind or above his other GPS, which was Molmar. I don't know. I don't have the logs. I don't have like information, but apparently he was still performing extremely well. In the literal world first level keys, there was a RIME playing this build, and a RIME, or actually specifically this build, and there was a RIME playing the beam build with Cloak. You guys don't have to go to this. Both of them are still wonderful builds. It's just the guys that are pushing really, really high right now prefer this style of RIME more. And that's fine. That is totally fine and totally okay. So yeah, that's about it. On single target, again, it's sort of the same thing. I know, sorry I didn't talk about single target. On single target, it's basically the same thing. You just kind of fill in with Glacial Blasts. And you just keep... Obviously, I actually shouldn't have pressed that one. But you just kind of press your stuff on cooldown constantly. And you don't really care. You're just gonna press your stuff on cooldown. And that's it. Don't think too much about it. Just kind of smack it on cooldown and you'll probably be fine. Yeah, you could have waited for bursting ice, but don't care. Rain off, play the game, have fun. Obviously, you can like delay some things. Like here, I wanna be going into bursting ice first. Maybe even I should hold that cold snap for more CDR onto my freezing torrent. There's a lot of like small optimization things that you can learn. Here I'm going bursting ice. This is just more normal stuff. Obviously, I should have pressed these two on cooldown. Just kind of keeping with it. This is it. This is the entire rotation, guys. Just press all your stuff on cooldown and you'll be fine. Yeah, that's the single target rotation for this build as well. Like it's very simple. Just spam your crap on cooldown and see how you like it. A lot of people have pointed out that it could be really hard in lower end content because Cascading Blitz is kind of hard to keep up if you're not constantly hitting stuff. So if you're doing skips, for example, in Sailor's Abyss, if you are skipping some of the packs in Sailor's Abyss, you're going to lose uptime on Cascading Eye Splits. It's just going to happen. You need to be constantly hitting stuff to keep near 100% uptime on Cascading Blitz and Eye Splits, so... it could be bad in lower keys where tanks just kind of stop moving sometimes, or just don't do stuff. Try it out, see how you like it. I'm not telling you what to pick. Try it out for yourselves and make opinions on your own. If your gear is better for this, if you think you do more damage, fine. Play that. It's totally fine. It's not the end of the world. So, yeah, just try it out. Have fun, guys. Please just have fun. Let's talk about gems really quickly. Currently, I'm just showcasing this with just max purple. Right now, what everyone is mainly figuring out right now is max purple is probably the best. Crits doing 12% more damage is very, very strong, just full stop for basically all of RIME. Sealed Fate 2, which is the 6th node, is also extremely strong. Like, there's a lot of very, very, very strong things in this tree. The recommendation right now is probably going a certain amount of haste. So if you do not have really high haste, which is personally for me, is in the 30s. I like playing in the 30s. As you can see, I actually have 5 topaz gems that I actually unsocketed. I personally like being in the 30s. You guys do not have to be in the 30s. If you have extremely good haste gear, no need to put that many yellow gems in. You can go full purple, and then you can go like 6 into red if you like, 6 into yellow, or 6 into green. Expertise is actually on the come up. The green tree is extremely good actually. Getting 5, even 15% expertise for 15 seconds when you deal damage to something for the first time is a very strong node. This is strong. Ability cooldowns reduced by 4 seconds doesn't make too much of a difference, but it helps a little bit. It's about like a 2-second, 3-second reduction on Frost Ward on your defensive. It doesn't affect your kick, but it does affect like Flight of the Revere, Ice Blitz, and Wizard Blessing, and actually affects Bursting Ice, Torrent, and Cold Snap as well. So it's okay. Uh, of course, 3% expertise is good, and then also the defensive node for expertise is also just a very good node. 10% of your max HP as a shield every minute is just a very good node. The green tree is a very strong. I would recommend if you have high haste, try out some green. If you have the currency, try out some green. It's very fun. I personally was playing out with 10 green for a while, and just having a blast with like this. I was playing this tree with 6 green, and I was having a lot of fun. I don't know if I was doing the best damage because I was doing low farm content, but I was having a lot of fun. So I would highly recommend at least like try some green out. I would say at the moment steer away from blue and diamond. Probably not the best to go into them. Red is just kind of more consistent than blue. And the best 2 is actually purple and yellow. Purple and yellow are the best 2 at the moment that you can possibly get your hands on. If you want to talk about probably pure min max, it's probably 10 purple, 6 yellow, and like 1 other point somewhere, or not 6 yellow, 9 yellow. But obviously we don't have sims. We still have a lot of things to change up. So, but yeah, that is boots for you guys. Please press everything on cooldown. Just have some fun. Test it out, see if you like it. I'm not saying it's better. I'm not saying it's going to be best in every single scenario for you guys, but please test it out, have some fun, and just see how you like it. See how you enjoy the build, and then make your own decision on your end. If you want to continue using it, then sure, you can. If you don't want to, that's fine. Just go back to Cloak. It will genuinely not stunt you from your progression into Eternals. You will be totally fine. Trust me, you'll be okay. That is the end of the talk for the up to date on the RIME stuff with the boosts and stuff, and the rotation kind of overview. I'm going to talk about what I am doing. Do I recommend you guys follow what I am doing? No. Do not copy what I am about to show you. I'm just updating you guys and to show you guys what I'm doing. So if you guys come into the stream, twitch.tv/shushwow, and you're like, oh, what's this guy running? This is what I'm running. I'm currently running. Let me put in some gems. There we go. This is currently what I am running. I am currently running Boots Legendary with a Chrono Shift weapon. I am running no sets, all 35% sockets, except on my 2 rings. I have sitting about 40% haste, high crit. I would like more expertise, and I would love to drop a lot of spirit. I have some very high spirit items that I would sadly like removed. For example, these shoulders and these pants. But you know, I gotta make do with what I have. And this is my weapon tree, specifically with the Chrono Shift. I'm running Visions of Grandeur, Inspired Learning. These are the main 2 that you care about, and then I have these 2 my favorite defensive nodes, and this is just a kind of throwaway. I would like something else. There's a lot of things I could like here more than Navigators, but it's fine. This is good enough. I'm not mad. Makes up a very little percentage of my damage, so it doesn't matter. But this is what I'm doing, and I am also playing. Let me go. I'm playing this. This is my talent build. This is my talent build. These are my gems. I'm playing 10 purple, 9 haste, and 1 red. I'm just having fun. Reason being is I don't want to continue to get burnt out. I have a lot of fun talking to you guys, a lot of fun just playing with a lot of really cool people, but I get burnt out with this game. This game is very boring for me when I'm purely pushing for rating, and so right now I'm just having fun and I'm testing things out for you guys. This is what we would call a spender build with Wrath, Cascading Blitz, Avalanche, and Winter's Embrace with Chrono Shift. This is what we would call a spender build. I've tested it in a couple runs. I still need to do more tests with it in other content and higher end content. But overall, it feels pretty nice. It's pretty fun, just kind of slamming everything on cooldown constantly. It's just kind of fun. This is what I'm doing. You guys can come check out like what I'm doing at twitch.tv/shushwow, where I do either farm content, some casual pushing, and just mostly just yapping and having a good time with everyone. This is what I'm doing. Please do not. I I will say this one last time. I highly recommend you stick to Void Touch Conduit. You will be totally fine with Void Touch Conduit. You'll perform exceptionally well. Do not stress about it. But in the meantime, I am going to have fun with Chrono Shift and testing out new builds and getting more information out to you guys so I can give you guys even a spender guide down the line to tell you guys how to play spender build. Anyway, that's going to be all for me. That's going to be the Boots meta update for updated on the November 13th update. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, wonderful evening, and come by and say hi. Much love. Peace, peace. See you guys.